Hey, all right, man. I've been thinking. And some people might say we're not allowed to say stuff like this, but if we're being honest, that's what we got to do. If you think about all like the degeneracy of today, right? All the degeneracy, the nightclubs, the drinking, drugs, girls, like a lot, like the I guess the degenerate women of today. They're the ones that walk around with that are just like half, like half like naked, right? Those kind of like, if you will, tempting women and stuff. Anyway, you could talk about sex, drugs, drinking, all this stuff, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Again, this is things that people say we're not allowed to say, so keep between you and I. But these things, these degenerate things, they're so tempting a lot of the times, especially when your day is just insanely rough. Like when you got the rough day or the rough week and you want something to bring you that comfort, it's so tempting to try to run to like these degenerate things. Even like, things like watching inappropriate videos or stuffing our face with junk food and like completely indulging ourselves in ways that is destroying our body. Like it's very tempting, especially when you have like a really bad week or a bad day, whatever, just because of the fact that it brings you that short-term comfort, right? It does. It brings you the short-term comfort. For anyone that's been addicted to anything, they would say that. Everyone that's been addicted to anything, like, they would say that, and that's why they become addicted, because it brings you that short-term comfort. But a lot of those addictions, man, a lot of them are just degenerate. And here's the thing about them. Here's the thing. Is that they bring you that nice short-term comfort, makes you feel really good in that moment. But what happens in the long run? What happens after you do that thing? You feel guilty. You feel like garbage. And why should you feel guilty? Why would you? And this is really interesting too. I've thought about this. Why would we feel guilty after doing these things? Why does anyone feel guilty about anything? We feel guilty when we do something that we know, oh, whoops, that's my turn, that we know is wrong. Oh, dang. That's when we feel guilty, is when we do things that we know are wrong. Even if we're by ourselves. Even if it's just us. Because, yeah, if you say something like mean to a friend, or like you say something stupid to a family member you shouldn't have said, or when you get angry at someone that you love and you kind of take it out on them and it just doesn't, you feel guilty, right? But that usually involves other people when you feel guilty. You screw up at work, I don't know, you whatever. It usually involves other people that makes you feel guilty. So why should I feel guilty when I did not hurt anyone? I'm just over here drinking the night away. I'm just over here watching, inappropriate videos I shouldn't be watching. But hey, I'm not hurting anyone, right? Wrong. You're hurting yourself. And that's the thing, right? Is that I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Here's the thing about God. And you know what? Hey, I'm not God, but I'm willing to bet that when He created us, we were created by Him, right? We were created by the one who is perfect. Now, of course, we're not perfect. We're not, but we were created by the one who is good. All good, right? Which means that deep down inside, when we do something that ain't good, we know it. We know that it's not good. Even if we've never been taught. And there's a lot of things where we don't have to be taught this is not good. Like, yeah, like things like manners, stuff like that, right? But when it comes to something like, I don't know, doing inappropriate habits or bad habits, I mean, even if you want to go as far as like, people that kill each other, it's like you can go as far as that. But what I'm saying is that when you do something that you know is wrong, when you do something, even if you haven't really been taught it, deep down inside if it's right or wrong. And that guilt that you feel after doing those bad habits and stuff like that, and indulging in degeneracy, that guilt that you feel is that feeling deep down inside that you know it's wrong. And that's why you feel guilty, because you did something that you know is wrong, you know, that you shouldn't have done. And from someone who's been addicted to a few things in his life, I mean, hey, take it from someone who's been there, you know? You don't just feel guilty for no reason. You feel guilty because you did something that you know is wrong. And not only that, but you did something that you know you're better than. Like, you know that you're better than that. All those times that I've indulged in degeneracy and self-pleasure and addictions and stuff like that, I know I'm better than that. I know I am. You know, we're all better than that. You're better than that. We all are. And so when we indulge in these things, we feel guilty because, yeah, we know it's wrong, absolutely. But we also just know that we're better than doing that. We're better than that, bro. And that's the thing, is that it brings you that nice short-term, it makes you feel really good in the moment, takes you away from your stresses and your worries about life. It takes you away from everything, man. You feel nothing but peace for the first time. That you don't feel peace otherwise, because there's always so much going on in this life, man. There's always, like, even when you try to go to sleep at night, it's like you're still, you know, you still got stresses and worries on your mind. You know, you still got stuff on your mind. And trust me, man, like, when I work my 10-hour shifts, 10.5-hour shifts, and then I go and like hang out with family. And don't get me wrong, bro, I love people, bro. I love the people I work with. I love my family. I love it. But I also need that time to myself. That I have no time throughout the day to actually gather my own thoughts, besides kind of like in the morning time, right? And that's kind of why I like even just recording, because I get to get out my own thoughts and stuff like that. You know, and sometimes saying it out loud, talking, like, it actually helps. And, you know, hopefully I'm giving someone another good perspective here on life. But look, the bottom line is that, like, you know, indulging in these degenerate habits and degenerate things, it takes you away from it all, man. It takes you away. You actually get to kind of feel that personal peace, you know, that you don't really get to feel that often. But the problem with it is that over time, it destroys you. It feels good in the moment, but you do it again and again and again and again. Over time, it just destroys you. It takes away your goals, your dreams. It takes away. Have you ever heard the song "Master of Puppets" by Metallica? Please tell me you've heard that. If you haven't heard that, what are you doing? You got to look that up. Listen, it's really good. It's pretty intense, pretty powerful. But one of the lyrics, it goes, "Master of Puppets, pulling strings, twisting your mind and smashing your dreams." And in the song itself, Master, it's basically about, like, I believe it was drugs or alcohol, but it's about, like, being kind of, it's the puppet master and you're the puppet, right? And one of the lyrics, it goes, twisting your mind, smashing your dreams. But, like, it's like the bottom line is that these degenerate habits, these degenerate things that bring you such comfort, that's so easy to get addicted to, man. Hey, look, no hate if you ever been addicted to anything, because, again, I've been there, done that. I'm pretty sure all of us have been addicted to something, even if it's something as innocent as junk food. It's still an addiction, and it's degenerate, and it's bad for you, you know? So the bottom line is that, hey, none of us are better than anyone, but what I am saying is that it twists your mind and smashes your dreams. It takes away. You start indulging in it so much that it becomes your new lifestyle. You start kind of pushing away your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. You push away like your motivation. You push away all the things that you want to do, all the things that are good for you. And then what happens is that it takes away everything from you. It makes you feel good in the moment, but not only does it make you feel bad afterward, but it just takes away from everything from you. It really does. It takes everything away from you, man. It just does. But when you embrace God, right? When you embrace God, and not just like prayer, read your Bible, but like doing things that are good for you, doing good habits. Yeah, of course, getting closer to God, praying, you know, reading God's word, of course, getting closer to Him, but also doing things that are good for you, because God is good. So you do the things that are good for you, like the good habits. It's harder in the moment, but in the long run, it does you so much good. And even after a workout, like, yeah, the workout's harder in the moment, but afterwards, I feel so good, man. And not only do I feel good, but I've actually done something good. I've accomplished something. I'm keeping my health in shape. I'm keeping my body, you know, God's blessed me with in shape. So it's like things like that. You embrace God instead of degeneracy. You embrace God, you embrace goodness, you do the good habits even though they're harder in the moment, they benefit you in the long run. And not just making you feel good, but actually like building a good life for you. And you know it too, because when you do the good habits, when you do them, you feel no sense of guilt afterwards. You feel accomplished, you feel happy, you feel like you actually did something good and productive with your life because you did. So the feeling of guilt and the feeling of accomplishment, achievement, like those are there for a reason, man. Those feelings are there for a reason, because it's our soul telling us deep down inside that, hey, we did something good and we need to keep doing that. Whereas the bad habits, our soul's telling us deep down inside, hey, you did something you shouldn't be doing. Stop doing this. That's the bottom line. And once you start indulging yourself in the good habits, the things that are good for you, yes, it's not as fun or exciting as the bad habits. It's really not. It doesn't feel as good as the bad habits, but it feels good in a different sense. It feels good in a, like, I'm doing hard work. I'm accomplishing things. I'm achieving things, man. It's harder, but it feels good in a different way, especially afterwards, and especially in the long run, once you start accomplishing things, once you start doing good. Like when you start working out on a daily basis, praying and meditating on a daily basis, not staring at your phone 24/7 throughout the day on a daily basis, hanging around good people, right, and getting in and moving yourself away from the bad and the fake people. Finding a job that's it might not be your favorite job in the world, but it's like good and healthy. There's some good people there. Like it's not like all toxic and trying to bring you down, stuff like that. Once you start surrounding yourself in good in this life, and everything that you do is like, all the things that you do become good for you. Of course, you're still gonna make mistakes, screw up. That's different. That's a whole different story. But I'm talking about your habits and your lifestyle. Get rid of the toxic workplace and go find a workplace that is, something that's good for you, something that's gonna do you good and have a good effect on your mental health. Drop the toxic and bad fake friends and find people that are good for you, even if it's just one or two people. Drop all the bad habits and replace them with good habits. Again, working out, praying, meditating, eating healthy, and not staring at your screen 24/7, but rather staring at the world and looking around at the world and actually being in the moment, stuff like that. Once you start doing these good things, man, and you embrace them, yeah, it's not as easy or necessarily instantly comforting as the bad habits, but it feels good in a different way. It feels good in a, I'm accomplishing things, I'm doing things good kind of way. And because you are. And then once you do these good habits and good things over and over and over on a daily basis, then you notice that your mental health becomes a lot better, your self-confidence becomes a lot better, all the areas of your life, including your relationships and like your own physical health and stuff like that, become better, and things just go uphill from there. And again, it's not instant gratification like the bad habits are, but it's delayed gratification. And that's the kind of things that I'm telling you, man, take it from someone who's been addicted before to the bad things and had to change his life around. I'm telling you, man, it's not as easy to give into as the bad habits, but you do them anyway, even when you don't feel like it, and you do that over and over and over and over, and until you become addicted to the good habits and the good things, and you become addicted to God, and you embrace all God and all the good stuff. I'm telling you, man, it has a completely different effect in your life, and it makes you never want to go back to like that bad way of life. I'm telling you, it's worth it in the long run. It really, really is. Forget degeneracy, man. Forget all the, and look, it doesn't mean you can't go out and have fun. It doesn't mean you can't go out and have a drink, or that you can't go to a party or anything. But I'm talking about when you make it like your entire lifestyle. When you make the bad habits. I'm not saying you can't have a milkshake or a nice fat burger and fries and stuff. Trust me, those things, hey, they're pretty good. But I'm talking about when like you just indulge in it 24/7, it becomes your lifestyle, right? You're so addicted, it just becomes your lifestyle. That's when it's bad. But doing these things once in a while, like I mean, come on, it ain't gonna kill you or anything. As long as you're just keeping it at like a normal level. And again, you're not turning drinking into getting blackout drunk. You're not turning junk food into stuffing your face till you're puking. You're not turning partying into forget all the important things in my life besides this. Like again, you just got to keep it controlled. That's do it once in a while, celebrate go out, have fun, have a good time, but like keep it controlled, right? And don't let it take over the good things in your life. But yeah, like once you start indulging in them, it becomes bad habits and it takes over your life and stuff. It's like, and then there are some things that are just completely like unacceptable, like just, you know, sleeping around with random women, or like watching inappropriate videos, stuff like that. That stuff is not even, don't even do that like once in a while. It's just not even good. But, you know, bottom line, indulge in the good, embrace God, and I'm telling you, everything changes. Everything does. You know what? Hey, this is your life. You don't have to. But I'm just telling you from personal experience. Trust me, everything changes, and for the better. It really, really does. And if you're ever wondering, like why has my life been so off, and like why have things not been good? Maybe it's because you've been indulging in too much bad habits, and not embracing God and not embracing good. When you think about it, it makes sense, right? You know, you choose either good or bad. It's like kind of like the path in life. It's like the light side or the dark side. It's like, you know, you can't really be both unless you're Darth Revan, but I'm pretty sure that's a different character. anyway, bottom line, man, just like embrace God, indulge in the good. I'm telling you, it does nothing but greatness and miracles in your life. Anyway, you know, hey, do what you want, but like, take it from someone who was addicted for so many years and then finally was able to break those addictions, and simply by just indulging in good. That's it, simply, and doing it long enough to where the good took over and I became addicted to the good stuff. So anyway, that being said, we're gonna go do a pretty cool workout, some nice dense fog, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to see a whole lot of it, but we'll see. So let's go. Yeah, this is some nice nice dense fog. I don't know how much you'll be able to see because I'm gonna be like kind of going up and down that hill in order to hit my legs pretty good, but yeah, this is rough, man. Jeez. Well, let me get to the top and see. Oh yeah. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, but I guess there's one way to find out. So I'll show you a good one of my sets. I'll finish up the rest on my own, and then we'll go from there. So let's do this. Actually, you might be able to see a good chunk of this. What I will say is that with the workout like this, man, hey, there's no like, you don't got to worry about certain numbers or certain time or anything like that. I mean, you really don't have to with your other workouts, so you can just push to your absolute max. But just go up and down the hill, man. I'm telling you, when you start doing it over and over, you're gonna feel your legs on fire. It's so flipping good. I cannot stress that enough, because like I've done this quite a bit. But I cannot stress enough like how good it really makes your legs feel, how much on fire it makes your legs feel, but of course in a good kind of way. So anyway, that being said, let's roll with this. Woo-hoo. Yeah, that's good. And usually when I get to the bottom, I'll do like a set of squats with calf raises too, so it hits your legs extra good. But yeah, that stuff is good. Getting the legs and the cardio in at once. Can't complain there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I mean, you kind of get the gist of how this works. You keep doing that over and over until your legs are pretty much just like, hey, we're done here. And then, yeah, then you could call it. But yeah, I'm gonna go finish that up and then we'll talk. I'll tell you, that's a good workout. Man, I don't know how long this fog is gonna last, but that's crazy. Yeah, that's a good workout, I'll tell you. But yeah, that stuff's gonna hit your legs really good. It is. So hey, you want something good? That's it right there. That's how you do it. I mean, of course, gonna get in the gym leg workout too. This week was a bit thrown off, the whole car situation. But anyway, you know, the gym leg workout still hits good too. But I do like how that one I'm able to combine legs with cardio. That's what I do like about it. That's what I will say. So, and I'm telling you, we're getting closer to the cold training season here. Closer, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely, we're getting closer to that season. So, stay prepared. Stay tuned. Oh man, because the cold training will be here soon. And I'm wondering how cold it's going to get this winter, because I keep hearing stuff about super El Nino. Basically just means, hey, the oceans are going to be like extra warm, and that's going to have an effect on us having a warmer winter. Unless you're like down south or something, maybe you're like in another country. I can't really speak for you then, but here in the beautiful Midwest, yeah, it usually means a warmer winter, but we'll see about that, because Midwest winters never fail to you know, put us in a freezer. So yeah, we'll see how much warmer it actually is, if any. But I'm not expecting it to be like 70s or 80s or anything. That'll never happen. But you know, I guess warmer would usually be like 40s, maybe 50s. I guess 40s and 30s are more realistic. But yeah, that being said, that stuff's a good leg workout. You want to hit your legs good. It's as simple as just running up and down a hill or stairs. You do stairs, that stuff is really good too. As simple as that, just doing it over and over. You're going to feel the burn. That's the bottom line. You know, do it over and over again. You're going to feel the burn unless you got some kind of like super legs. But let's be honest, a lot of us men don't have that. We tend to be the ones that want to skip leg day. And I'm not a fan of that, but like it just happens. So that's why, you know, I used to do that all the time, and I have nothing but regrets for it now. In the moment skipping leg day, I always thought, oh yeah, legs don't matter. No one sees them anyway. But it's like, yeah, until they do. Until you wear shorts or you go to a pool or something like that. But not even that, like regardless of what other people think. It's like even just looking at your own self, like in the mirror, when I would look at my own self, have like the more defined upper body and then just like the little tiny legs, and like, oh, I should have worked out legs all those years, bro. What was I doing? I would, but I would usually skip them. I would do it like once a month, you know, on average, if I had to say. You know, while every other muscle group I was hitting once or twice a week. So it's just like, yeah, don't skip it, bro. Trust me, just don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. It sounds good now. It sounds fine now. Oh, no one's ever going to see legs. It's like, even if other people don't, it's like, you're still going to see them yourself. It's not worth it. It's trust me, not worth it. And especially if you get like a girlfriend or something, and you go, oh, like, you look so good and stuff. And then she's going to see your legs. You know, she's going to want you, like, you know, you're going to want to do like cute couple stuff, like carrying her on your back and stuff. But you got to be able to walk around with her on your back, and which means you got to have some good leg power. And bottom line, just, you know, whatever the reason may be in the future, if you skip legs, you're going to regret it. There's going to be a reason or multiple. So just don't skip it, man. Don't do that to your, learn from me. Learn the easy way, right? I learned the easy way. Learn from me. Just don't do that to yourself. And my legs are still trying to catch up to my upper body to this day. So again, don't do that to yourself. Take it as my warning to you. Anyway, let's go read some of God's word, shall we? Okay, back to where we left off last time at Luke 7, 29, I believe. Yeah, Luke 7:29. All the people, even the tax collectors, when they heard Jesus' words, acknowledged that God's way was right. That's kind of interesting, because I was just talking about like God, God's all good, doing good stuff like that. That God's way was right because they had been baptized by John. But the Pharisees and the experts in the law rejected God's purpose for themselves because they had not been baptized by John. And again, when you indulge in like the bad habits and stuff, it's all just for your own short-term pleasure. But again, even with your own short-term pleasure, it leads to your own long-term destruction. So careful with that. Jesus went on to say, "To what then can I compare the people of this generation? What are they like? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling out to each other. We played the pipe for you, and you did not dance. We sing a dirge, and you did not cry. For John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and you say, he has a demon. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and you say, here is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. But wisdom is proved right by all her children." When one of the Pharisees invited Jesus to have dinner with him, he went to the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. A woman in that town who lived in a sinful life learned that Jesus was eating at the Pharisee's house. So she came there with an alabaster jar of perfume. As she stood behind him at his feet weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears. Then she wiped them with her hair, kissed them, and poured perfume on them. When the Pharisee who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, if this man were a prophet, he would know who is touching him and what kind of woman she is, that she is a sinner. Jesus answered him, Simon, I have something to tell you. Tell me, teacher, he said. 2 people owed money to a certain moneylender. One owed him 500 denarii, and the other 50. Neither of them had the money to pay him back, so he forgave the debts of both. Now which of them will love him more? Simon replied, I suppose the one who had the bigger debt forgiven. You have judged correctly, Jesus said. Then he turned toward the woman and said to Simon, do you see this woman? I came into your house. You did not give me any water for my feet, but she wet my feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair. You did not give me a kiss, but this woman from the time I entered has not stopped kissing my feet. You did not put oil on my head, but she has poured perfume on my feet. Therefore I tell you, her many sins have been forgiven, as her great love has shown. But whoever has been forgiven little loves little. Then Jesus said to her, your sins are forgiven. The other guests began to say among themselves, who is this who even forgives sins? Jesus said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. It must be kind of embarrassing for Simon. He didn't even like this woman who was just a big sinner, right? Like came in and like poured oil on Jesus's head and was like washing his feet, stuff like that. Like actually like taking care of him, right? And Simon, who's with Jesus, didn't even take care of him. Like the woman who was a sinner took more care of Jesus than like Simon, bro. Like that's crazy, I would feel pretty embarrassed if that happened and Jesus said that to me. I'd be like, ooh, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. But it just goes to show, man, like the love of Jesus, the forgiveness. So it's like never too late to turn around, and even just to turn away from your bad habits and stuff like that. Like you're never too far gone, right? You just gotta decide, hey, am I gonna keep living this kind of life, or should I start living this kind of life? But I mean, yeah, it's up to you. It's your own decision, But bottom line, man, is that, hey, just, you do good, embrace God. I'm telling you, it does nothing but, turn out for the best. At the end of the day, it's your own decision, though. But it's done nothing but good for me, and so if I can spread that kind of word or cheer onto anyone, I gladly will. Ah, man. Whew, man, that hit. Anyway, that's been it for today. So, let's go become the great masculine men we were born to be, kind of men God made us to be. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, man, to continue the mission. All right, peace.